Today on Drawbli.
I am drawing a knight while sitting in a Japanese Starbucks.
Hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm Abby.
And we are self-taught artists documenting our drawing adventures because art is better when shared with friends.
So click that subscribe button if you're new around here.
And don't forget to check out our guidebook on daily drawing, link below.
Yeah. So there we were in Japan. And it was like the last day before we went home.
And
so
everybody was exhausted.
Yeah, so we kind of canceled the last castle we were going to walk an hour to see.
What's
Something.
another castle?
Well, travel an hour to see. And we decided we'd all kind of split up for the day and do our own kind of chill things. So some people went to Den Town to look at anime figures and manga books. And Ben and I posted up in a really cool Starbucks that we had seen in Osaka.
Yep.
It was a massive Starbucks, and it had a whole massive second floor just devoted to sitting, much bigger than any Starbucks that I've ever seen here. And we sat in it and got to look out the windows onto the streets of, what was that, Donbori or?
It is not Dotonbori.
Dotonbori?
No. I can look up the name of the street.
Don't worry
but
about
I
it.
do not remember.
All I remember is that there was a massive 20-foot crab animatronic that was the advertisement for one of the restaurants.
Quite a few creepy animatronics.
That you would just look out the window and one eyeball would be going up on its stalk and then the other, and then one claw would wave over and then the other. And so you just watch that slowly in the background.
All right. That's enough about Japan.
It's never enough
You
about
stole
Japan.
my thing. I just talked about in my video about how my whole identity now is drawing knights.
Ben, how does it feel to have inspired a fellow artist?
I feel like you're ripping me off.
You don't feel proud that you inspired somebody?
No, I'm angry.
I think that's the wrong
I'm full
mindset.
of rage.
Well, you know where you
Especially
could take
because
your
you did it
rage.
better than me.
That's not true.
I hope you bring that sketch back on your face because your sketch, your lines in that face were amazing.
I hate to tell you this, I did not. In fact, the face is probably my least favorite part of this drawing.
The sketch was so good.
I know, the sketch was really cute.
Your style was actually amazing. It looked like Can Liu's work.
Oh, thank you. But I just don't know how to bring a sketchy face from sketchy to a drawing.
You just leave it on there and keep painting on top of it.
See, you say that like it's so simple,
But
it's not.
It's how I do every single painting you've ever watched me do.
I know, but I don't know. I know, but I don't know.
Well, you should force yourself to leave your sketch on next time.
So the thing about Starbucks in Japan, we went
gonna ignore
to
that.
several, and mostly I wish I hadn't because for one reason being, I have Starbucks here. Why was I going to Starbucks in Japan? To have the taste of
'Cause
home?
You're addicted to coffee.
I didn't even have coffee every day we were there, but I realized I'm more addicted to half and half, which is the cream we use here. And apparently I have to explain what that is because if you're from Japan, you might not even know because they don't have it there. They had it maybe in one Starbucks that was next to a very touristy spot. I thought they were all in touristy spots, but they only ever had milk or whipped cream, which is not a big deal. But I was just always surprised by how different that made the coffee to me. I'm like, do I like coffee or do I just like that slightly elevated fat content of the half and half and the way that makes the coffee taste better?
Maybe you should start putting half and half in tea and try that.
No, I think I've tried that.
It depends on the tea. It would work in a chai or something like that.
Yeah, and I have tried that, but it's the coffee flavor for me. I wouldn't mind doing decaf. I like a bold coffee flavor with half and
You
half.
are such a liar. You wouldn't mind doing decaf?
I wouldn't.
You are
We have half calf in the machine right now, and it's going well.
Look at me.
I drink decaf Americanos from Starbucks a lot of the time when I go there.
Abby.
Benjamin, you have to believe in me. If I say
Everyone
I'm going to do a
listening
thing,
right now knows. They know. They know from the tone of my voice that you are a big fat liar.
I am not a big fat liar. I am not.
Abby loves her caffeine.
I love
and
it.
that's okay.
But no, apparently it's not. Gosh.
Thou doth protest too much.
No, I don't.
Well, I really like your rendering here on your armor. I like that stippled look you're getting from the reflectivity.
I spent far
very
more
nice.
time on the armor
Pushes
than the
glasses
face.
up on nose.
Oh my gosh. And the Starbucks was also super cute and cool
In Japan?
for many other reasons.
Why?
Well,
what?
it was fun. The people watching is immaculate. I mean, you go to Starbucks and sit there partially for people watching.
There's quite a few people.
And in
to
a trendy
watch.
city of Japan, the styles are just, they're so cool. It's so cool to see how
Was
people...
your fashion sense inspired?
Well, after watching the fashion in Japan for quite some time, I realized I can appreciate it, but it just doesn't quite work for our American spaces as well. I mean, I could.
Yes,
but
you can't go out in a
I can.
goth Lolita dress
No,
every single day
that
in the
wasn't.
United States.
No, it's more like floor length. It's like a 1950s aesthetic.
Oh, what?
Yeah, you wear the long skirts, the little heel that all the girls wear, or the boots. I mean, there were more like modernly dressed women there as well, but most of it was a long skirt and then kind of a sweater.
Not 1950s, but more baggy clothing in general.
Yes,
I would say.
loose is definitely the style there.
Or loose, yes.
Yes.
Unlike this knight.
No, I know she has very form-fitting armor. Actually,
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you go into did you open up Pinterest and type in knight, or did you open up Pinterest to see this and you were like, ooh, this one?
I opened up my iPad and saw this photo that was already saved in my downloads.
And where did that come from?
Probably Pinterest.
Yeah, were you directly searching for knights? I'm trying to find out, like, I'm in court and I'm the judge with the mallet, and I'm like, was this premeditated?
It had been several weeks since I had downloaded this photo, so there's no knowing at this point. You will just
Guilty.
Oh my gosh, so protective of your IP of knights. Nobody's heard of them.
Nobody's heard of that? Oh, nobody's heard of knight? Look, it's new to me. It's my new thing. It's who I am.
Yeah, well, my thing too.
Well, I like your face currently.
Thank you.
It's looking good for saying that you didn't like it.
Oh, thank you. I just kind of like really quickly did it in the hair because what I felt like I took away the most from this piece was working on the armor. I thought that was like a nice thing to do and work on. And then, of course, we had to go get some gyoza and dumplings after this to sustain ourselves. Oh, the food was so good.
Yeah, overall, what do you think of Japan as like a place, one, to visit, and two, a place to like live in?
Well, I wouldn't be able to speak on living there. I have heard that people who have lived there tend to take a slightly more negative outlook towards it. However, I would digress that, anywhere you have to live instead of play is not going to feel as fun and wonderful.
Yeah, versus a vacation.
Exactly. So as a place to visit, just absolutely incredible. Wonderful to be a tourist in because you don't have to rent a car. And wonderful for me as well because our friends, Ariel and Sam, planned this whole very detailed itinerary. In particular, Ariel did 1,000,000 hours of research into what trains we would need to take, where and when, and what we would need to book for in advance versus what we could just book that day. So I was a true passenger princess in the sense that she did a ton of work beforehand to make this trip as awesome as possible.
Ooh, I like your rim light.
Thank you.
Yes, that was very nice to have so much of our trip, planned out.
Like, we didn't have to think about it. We had a nice app called Wanderlog that had...
I thought about it.
Every
I went
day's
through
itinerary.
that list multiple times.
Oh, yeah. I went through the list and thought about it, but I didn't have to, plan anything to go on the list, It was already there and just to be modified.
I like your background here. I was just about to ask you if you added a background to this character.
I did, because that's something I want to be better about, is giving my characters a little setting to be in versus whatever setting I find the reference in. And we try a little beam of light here to see how that looks.
And?
I like it, so I keep it. And then my final file on this ends up, I think I tried inserting a PNG. because one of our commenters recommended
Oh,
adding
that's
that
right.
recently.
For the color differences. I don't believe that that's the issue. I should check on that.
I thought it was more high res. I still adjusted the color a bit in Photoshop because it always reads so much more dull once I put it in to the computer and then back into this.
That is a screen difference, not a file type difference, I believe. But either way, if you want to be a nice file type, click that like and subscribe button and check out our guidebook at the link below.
And share your work on Instagram with #Drawbli because drawing is better with friends.
And this is the part where we say...
Goodbye.
Goomba. I like your beam of sunlight on your night. And I like your knight's face.
I wish
it turned out a lot better than you thought.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Some things turn out better than you realize. It just takes another perspective to see it.